Well, hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick, and I am here from Fargo, North Dakota. Welcome to the webinar. Tonight, we have some amazing stories that we're going to share with you. Stories of how the Sisel products have changed lives and in some cases, actually saved lives. And I was able to record my dad. He was busy tonight. Imagine being 82 years old and having too much going on in your life to actually be able to get on a webinar. But that's how my dad is very active. And so I recorded his testimonial. And so we're going to talk about some of the amazing products that we have here with Sisel tonight and what they've done for people's lives, how they've changed people's lives, and what they can possibly do for you. So first, what I'd like to do is I'd like to run over to Aroha K. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Well, welcome to the call. I think this is the first time you've shared your story, isn't it?
Yes, I did speak to you in Australia, in Brisbane in February.
Oh, in February. Okay, just not that long ago, it doesn't seem like.
Yes, at Ross's place.
You bet. Well, I'll be back this next February as well, so I'll look forward to seeing you again.
Fantastic.
You bet. So tell me, how long have you been taking the Sisel products?
Well, I joined up with Tom Maui years ago. So I've been using the products for about 26 years now. But with Sisel, I joined up about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Mainly taking the age pill. I went off that when I had some medical testing done that was never ending.
Yes.
I have motor neurone symptoms that I've been beating for quite a few years, just following a holistic approach. Recently, I've been off and on the H pill, and I found that when I was off it, my body deteriorated, and about 2 months ago, I had a nerve test done, so I went raw, took nothing, and my body basically collapsed to about 25%. So most of the time it's 50% or more. Now, as soon as I went back into the H pill, within a few days, I got energy, my aches and pains went, my memory, my whole body that was shutting down basically came back to life.
All right.
So the last 3 weeks, I just feel like I'm alive again.
That's exciting news, isn't it?
Yes, because I was having trouble breathing, swallowing. I also have PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder, from childhood. They didn't know what it was, but I was diagnosed with that in my 20s. So I thought that I was actually having anxiety attacks.
Right.
When I realized I was having trouble breathing, people had started to notice that I was dragging my body around, I was falling over things, banging into things. And I actually looked in a window as a mirror and I thought I was walking straight, but I was actually dragging my foot. And I've had problems without the age pill. I found that all my senses shut down, so I can go very, very weak to where I feel like I'm almost blind, not being able to hear, not being able to smell, to being ultra strong. And the age pill changed that dramatically.
Were you on the call with Tom tonight, the Sisel Australia New Zealand call?
Yes, that was brilliant on the Balance D.
Yeah. Are you taking that product?
No, I'm going to though.
Oh man, after taking that, I would say that everybody who's not taking it, you want to slap alongside the head, right?
Yeah, well, I've been taking one of those ones that has the 30 million, and this is so much better.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, Tom doesn't do things halfway; he goes all the way, doesn't he?
No, he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've followed him for 26 years. He's amazing.
That's right.
He saved my life, and he really has.
All right. Well, Aurora, thanks for being with us tonight. Thanks for sharing your wonderful story, and we'll make sure and get this out to the world.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, and I appreciate you being on the call.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, what a great testimonial to hear. So what I'd like to do now, I'm going to play a testimonial that we actually have. So I can find it here. And it's online. So.
Hi, Shane. Thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, great. Okay, well, I'm really excited to have you on the call, and I'd love you to share your testimonial.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm excited to be on the call as well.
Great.
About 6 months ago, I was on the Tringle for Life pack as well as the age pill, and I was doing very well on those products. And my doctors were happy with my blood test results that I have every 3 months. Because of being diabetes and high cholesterol and whatnot, they do blood tests every 3 months. And due to finance reasons, I ended up moving to Melton, and I was paying a lot more in rent. So I had to stop taking those products. And that was the worst thing I could have ever done, because as soon as I stopped taking the products, I started getting sick again. I started getting heart ratings on my sugar levels and basically going downhill. And even my GP turned around and said, "What the hell's going on?
Right.
My tests are really bad again." And I said to him, I said, "Well, I can't afford at the moment the health products I'm on." And he goes, "Well, look, you need to do whatever you can to get back on those products." So
Wow.
I have actually been back on the products probably for about a month now.
Mm-hmm.
And the blood tests are doing really well again. And the GP basically turned around and said to me, "Look, I could tell you're back on your products." And I went, "Yep." And he goes, "Well, they're definitely helping you." And he told me to keep taking them.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great testimonial. So you must be happy now you're back on them.
Yes, I am, definitely. I mean, I've had to change my life around a bit to be able to be on them, but I'm more than happy to do that, because I mean, the products are fantastic. I mean, they're the best on the market as far as I'm concerned. And, I mean, I thought, no, whatever I need to do, I'm going to do to get back on them. And it's the best thing that I've done.
Wow, that's fantastic. Because because I know it's been a challenge for you, with a limited income, and so, but this has just been so important to you. It's just wonderful that you're able to get back on them.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And now my goal is, my first goal was to get back on the products, and now that I've reached that goal, my next goal is to basically build the business.
Oh, fantastic. That's great news, Shane. Wow, what a wonderful testimony. I really appreciate you getting on.
You're welcome.
All right, well, that's great. And I want to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon.
No worries. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, Shane.
No worries. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Yes, today. So I'm really excited to hear your testimonial, and I'm sure the listeners are too. So would you like to go ahead and share your experience with us?
Hi, Katie. Yep, you're welcome. All good. So I'm just going to talk a little about the Balance D, why I double dose on the Balance D. So 3 weeks ago, I've had been leading up to the 3 weeks, I had a mild infection, and I also had symptoms of bloating, and also had a pain, like a sharp pain in my sort of tummy, like middle side of my tummy. So, and I just thought that was really weird. But looking back to, leading up to that, I have been not eating well, so been really lazy in preparing food, just been doing a lot of takeout and also been not exercising as well. So I felt, tired all the time, sort of starting to feel tired when I get home. So I kind of just can't be bothered cooking. So then I started to feel those symptoms and I was like thinking, what is going on? I take a lot of, most supplements. I take all the, Encompass. I take the Super Maker, calcium, Renovator. I take most of them. But with the Balance D, I must admit, I have been taking sort of 3 or 4 a day, and I think the minimum dose is 7. And so I was like, really, I just thought, well, I've been taking all its other supplements, so I really don't need to take 7 on Balance D.
Right.
Yeah, so I just thought, my body was just, it's fine with 4. But when I started to have those symptoms, I just thought to myself, oh, what's happening, I take the Fucoidan, I take the Body Shield, and I just thought, well, something is not right.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is I could feel the symptoms, but it didn't stop me from, going to work or anything. Like I never felt to the point where I have to stay home and feel really sick or anything like that. I could just feel my body fighting against it. But I just thought there's something missing. I felt something. I'm not, So I always like to go back to the recordings that you do with Dr. Kurt.
Great.
And I thought to listen again about Balance D, just about the gut. So and I remember what Dr. Kurt may have said something about Balance D replaces good bacteria, supports the good bacteria in our gut. And then that made sense to me, and I thought, well, that's probably what's happening because I haven't been eating well, and also haven't been exercising, and also not taking enough Balance D. I thought I'm going to really push my Balance D up. So I took 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did.
At one go?
Yes, one go. That was just after the H pill. I would take the Balance D.
Okay.
14.
Oh, so a double dose, right? Okay.
I did. I double dosed the 7. And I just thought, well, I'm going to go 14, see how we go with that.
Yeah.
Because it started to bother me with that bloating business, because I just thought, why am I bloating? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, and also, with that sharp pain, how, I don't know, I've never had kidney stone, but I just felt something was there. I just thought that's really weird, because all of a sudden it's there. So I could feel it when I press on it. So I thought, okay. And I thought, so I did that. And after a week, because my Balance D ran low really quick, so after a week of doing that, I felt so much better, and the pain actually went away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what else? The bloating went away. And I started to clear up. Like I could feel, because I had a bit of a cold as well, and that all started to clear out.
Oh, wow. So
it made sense to me that with the recording that I had listened to with Dr. Kurt about the gut, that, the immune system, I felt my immune system was well supported, but my gut was missing the good bacteria, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I did that, I just like, whoa, that just felt so much better. When I went to see my doctor about it, because she just said, she confused me. I didn't know what she was saying. And but I just decided, no, I'm just going to do the Balance D and see what happens.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because, I read that most of the probiotics that are on the market, they've got 30 billion active colonies in it, and the Balance D has 525 billion, which is a massive difference. And, you know, if you've ever had antibiotics and if you go to the pharmacy and you're getting the prescription and they recommend, you know, if they're good pharmacists, they'll recommend to take a probiotic at the same time because they know it's going to wipe out all the good bacteria. And they even recommend doing a double dose. And so I was wondering that the other day. I can't believe you're sharing that because I wonder what will happen if you do a double dose. So that's really, what a great story. And I'm sure everyone love hearing that. That's fantastic.
You're welcome.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, great. Well, I'm so pleased that you could share that with us today.
All good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot, Sally. Okay.
All right. Bye, Katie. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry about that. I forgot to unmute myself, everyone. But I was just saying that I was having trouble getting my screen to change. And so, you know, some great testimonials there. And if you were on the call not that long ago with Liesl and Tom, Tom was just sharing scientific information about the Balance D product. And then to hear a great testimonial like that, I'm going to add another testimonial to that. My son and his girlfriend, they can't be on the call tonight. It seems like Friday night sometimes, you know, people just can't get away from whatever they're doing. But anyhow, my son's girlfriend has had a lot of trouble with adult acne, and she went on to Balance D and came back to me within a couple of weeks of beginning to take her product. And she noticed that she had some amazing changes. Her skin cleared up. And so you may want to talk to your teenage children, or if you know any adults that have adult acne, you may want to have them give it a try. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and he said, "What the heck? You have nothing to lose. I mean, all the other stuff that you probably tried didn't work." So let's go to another testimonial. And this one is from my dad. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to play this testimonial here. So this comes from earlier today when Dad and I were talking, and he wasn't able to make it to the call either. Again, like I said, he's 80 years old. 3 years ago, he was told that he wouldn't make it through the end of the year. And to hear his testimonial now, he just got back from Mayo Clinic, and they told him that he has a clean bill of health. But here, listen to the testimonial. Oh, that doesn't seem to be working. Can you hear that all right? Can you hear that testimonial all right? To me, I'm not hearing a good sound over here on my end. Let me know on the panel here, or I can try something different there. Hang on. Because I want you to hear my dad's story. It didn't work? Okay, hang on.
Okay. So, you know, I just wanted to share your... How about now? Could you hear that?
Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning, folks. Sorry about that. For those of you who listen to the recording, technical issues. I wouldn't say that I'm the most technologically based guy here. So hang on.
How many years has it been since I started this? 5.
Hello, Dad.
Hey, Kurt.
I got you on the recording. We're recording this. I'm going to play it on my conference call later. Thanks for taking the time to be on here.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to share your continuing story of how much better you've gotten health-wise and what's going on with your health. It wasn't that many years ago, less than 10 years ago, when you got diagnosed with this Waldenstrom's, right?
Yeah, correct. About 6 years ago, I guess it was. We were just talking about that.
About 6 years ago, yeah. From what I understand, for everybody that's listening to the call right now, really, Waldenstrom's is kind of it's a form of lymphoma, really, right?
Right. They call it Waldenstrom lymphoma.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you got diagnosed, I think your doctor, when I was there, I think your doctor had said that there was, 2 other people in the whole state of North Dakota that had it at the same time that you did?
I don't recall that, but it could be.
Or
My
maybe
memory isn't the best.
Yeah. It wasn't that many people. It was either 1 or 2 other people that had it at the same time that you did. And they didn't have a very good prognosis, did they?
I don't recall. To be honest.
But they what they said was that typically 5 years is a long time when you have that. Yeah. I remember that first doctor that you saw. She didn't give you a lot of hope on that.
No. She told me to get my affairs in order. So.
Right.
That's something you should do anyway.
Yeah. In your 70s, you should get your affairs in order anyhow. Yeah. But I think it was your second doctor. What was his name? The one from South Africa?
Oh, what was my doctor's name? I can't think of it. Anslow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anslow. Yeah.
And he didn't. He pretty much said, "Yeah, there's no cure. There's no, really
no cure.
nothing.
You just keep going. Yep.
Yeah.
You never get rid of it.
Yeah. And generally, after we looked at the research and your doctor gave you information, not only did it affect your lymph and all that, but it affected the lungs, it affected the kidneys, it affected the liver as well, right?
Yeah, and bone marrow.
And bone marrow. Yeah, and I remember when I went down with Mayo with you, 3.5 years ago, the doctor said that at that time, your kidneys and your liver were failing, and you were looking at dialysis and possibly a liver transplant.
Could be. I can't say I remember. My memory isn't the best, so I don't remember unpleasant things. So.
You don't? Okay. Well, I remember that when I was sitting in the office with you.
Okay.
The visit that we made when Mom couldn't go with. But anyhow, and then we got you started with some of the Sisel products, and really now, what was your latest the visit that you had just the other day? What did they tell you now?
Well, my liver and kidneys are getting better. So,
yeah.
So I'm getting along pretty good. Pretty close to normal.
Pretty close to normal, yeah.
For an 80-year-old person.
Right? And that's the whole thing that I try and tell people is that when you look at the power of the products, we can't say cure, we can't say treat anything like that. But
no.
Just think about it. You've got friends that have gotten sick, no matter what they get sick from, whether it's arthritis or heart disease or cancer or whatever, even if they get better, don't they kind of just gradually, even though they got better, they kind of still gradually go downhill?
Yeah, I would say that. That's a tendency, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't all of a sudden get better from what they're suffering from, but then continue to get better and continue to get better. Every time you guys go down to Mayo Clinic, they tell you that you're getting better or things are
the same or better, yeah.
You know, and that's the part that I really wanted to share with people tonight. We don't have to talk about any particular disease at all. We just have to say how many 80-some-year-old people get better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know, and right now, I mean, we have you taking, you know, the liquid products, the Fucoidin, the Eternity, the Spectramax. We have you taking a probiotic. We have you taking the Brain Vitality. You probably should bump that up a little bit more since you're forgetting all these things.
I always been forgetful, so but that probably wouldn't hurt, no.
But you know, I just had 3 bottles sent to your house earlier today, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That'll last a long time then.
That's right. So you'll have that when you get back home. So anyhow, you know, I guess as far as like words of wisdom for people, I mean, would you say that I mean, in your mind, do you think the products have made a difference?
Oh yes, that and determination. I'm determined to keep moving. I think that makes a big difference too. You know, if you start sitting around and laying around, you're not going to get better. You have to be determined to stay physically active.
That's right. You got to want to get better. You have to want to live.
Yep. You got to keep moving.
That's right.
So
okay. Well, I'll let you get back to what you're doing there. I know you're having dinner and well, folks, you know, listen to my dad, and he's not one of those people that talks a lot. You know, that's one of the things that I've always said about my dad. You got to pull the information out of him to get him to say anything. And I don't know, maybe that's part of his generation, but you know, his story really is, and he didn't share all this. Back when he was in his 50s, he got diagnosed with prostate cancer. When he got into his 60s, he got diagnosed with lymphoma. When he got into his 70s, he was diagnosed with this Waldenstrom's lymphoma, which is a rare form of lymphoma. I know he didn't quite remember it, but at the time that he got diagnosed, there was 1 to 2 cases of Waldenstrom syndrome in North Dakota, not very many cases in the United States. And they convinced him, Mayo Clinic convinced him to, do the medication route, traditional medicine route, chemo, radiation, different types of biopsies and that. And gradually over a 3-year period of time, my dad started looking like a cancer victim. And you know what I mean? Because when somebody first gets diagnosed, most of the time, unless it's advanced, most of the time they don't look sick. But once they start doing the chemo, they turn that gray color and they really look like they have cancer. And that's how it was for my dad. He lost like 50 pounds of weight and was just going downhill. And I remember that February 3.5 years ago, I was sitting there talking, or I was with my dad, and we were talking to his doctor, and his doctor, you know, really said that you know, they figured that he maybe had about a year left to go, and his kidneys were failing, his liver was failing, and that's when I sat down with my dad and I had a real serious talk with him. And I said, look, we got to start doing something different. You can keep doing the same thing, but you know, you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting what you got, right? Isn't that what the saying says? And anyhow, I got my dad taking, I call it a high dose of resveratrol. He was going through a bottle every 3 to 4 days. And he was taking Fucoidin, he was taking Balance D. And then when 4 Restore came out, I got him taking 4 Restore. I got him on Avenger. And in 3 months, his doctors, I was with him again at Mayo Clinic, and his doctors said to him, they said, well, you know, are you doing anything different? And my dad, you know, you can tell from his personality, he didn't say anything. He didn't want to rock the boat. He said, oh, no, not doing anything different. And I was in the room and I looked at my dad and I looked at the doctor and I said, yeah, you're just doing a lot of things different. Let me show you what he's doing. And I started listing this and this and this. And I started telling him everything. You should have seen that doctor over there. The doctor had a pen and he was just frantically writing everything down that I was saying. And And the doctor said, well, we wanted to know because we never see this before. You're actually getting better. And 6 months later, the doctors were just totally flabbergasted at my dad's results, and he had gotten so much better. And since that time, my dad just keeps getting better and better. They have him come back in. They were having him come in every 3 months. Now they have him come back in every 6 months. And Dad was just at Mayo Clinic 2 days ago, and they told him, they said, yeah, your kidneys and your liver continue to function. You heard my dad say it. They said it's functioning normally. I mean, folks, think about that. How many 80-year-old people do you know that have those kind of results? And so that's kind of my dad's story, and I share that with a lot of people, and I tell them that these products really can make a difference, and we can't say cure, we can't say treat, we can't say diagnose, anything like that. All we can say is that the products support your body's normal systems. It supports what's supposed to happen. It optimizes the function of your organs. It optimizes the function of your body. And there's a lot to that, because if you have healthy organs and everything's working the way it's supposed to, of course you're going to be healthy. So thanks for spending some time with us tonight. And again, don't try and tell people that you're going to cure them of their disease. Don't try and tell them that you're going to treat them. Don't tell them that they need to go off of all their medications, anything like that. You're not their doctor. All we can do is we can support the body's own system, and we can make it so that things work the way they're supposed to. And as we do that, chances are you get healthier. So have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your time. Have a lot of time with your friends and your family. The thing about it is that we're all young enough. We can still make mistakes. You can always go back and you can say, oh, I tried that. It didn't work. I'm going to try something else. We're all young enough that we can do that. So bless you. Have a great weekend, and I will speak to you soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.